this is Ben with Epic Guitar Instruction, bringing you a song lesson today on a looping rendition of the Bob Marley classic, Stir It Up. This is a really great tune. It's a lot of fun to jam with your friends, or even if you have a looper and you just build this thing up track by track, and you just basically create your own backing track. And that's kind of the approach that we're going to take today, is to draw upon some elements of the tune, throw them in our looper, build up a track, and just have fun jamming over it. So this tune, great parts. One of the things I love about doing this with Bob Marley tunes and other reggae tunes is that there's a lot of separation between the different instruments, right? The guitar has a role, the bass has a role, the drums are doing their thing, and they all kind of occupy their own little space. So the tune starts out with the guitar figure, which is where we'll start, of course. The tune is in A, and we're going to play some reggae style strums of the following chords. We're going to play an A major here, a D major here, and an E major here. So to get the reggae thing happening, you really need to keep the right hand moving and feel the time. So the way that I think about that is 2 and then 4 and. So if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and so on. So that's a good way to get that feel started. And there's some other little nuanced things that you can do to make this thing happen. And I think that's partial fretting of the chord is a good way to get that going, right? So if I were to play that and hold down the whole chord shape, I get that thing ringing out, and that's not necessarily what I want. So if I relax my grip off of the chord a little bit, then I kind of hear a choked version of that chord, and that's what I'm after for this feel. It's almost like you're covering the strings like this, but with more note content, right? You can still kind of hear the A chord in there, and that's what you want to shoot for. So best way to get that down, just sit on one chord for a while and try to find that sweet spot. If you don't have enough pressure, then it won't sound anything like the chord. Too much, there's going to be too many notes ringing. So just kind of want to find that sweet spot in the middle. So that's the basic groove that we're after there. Now I've put that into my looper here. I'll let that go. Little faster speed. Now next what we can do is start to bring in the bass line. So let's take you through the bass line here next. The bass line is based around the arpeggios of the 3 chords. So you have an A arpeggio, the 1, 3, and 5. And then you have the D arpeggio, the 1, 3, and 5 of D. And then the 1, 3, 5 of E. So that's kind of where the notes are drawn upon as they move through the progression. This one, and this one. Now we separate that out, create a specific rhythmic phrasing to it, and we get the bass line from the song. So you saw there was some variations in there, but at the heart of that line, you have that arpeggio, that one, and that one. You throw that together in your looper and you get so we're starting to build up our track here. Now if you have an octave sound or you have a bass line around, you can play that same thing on the bass or just put an octave below on it, and it sounds kind of nice there as well. So lastly, we want to create some rhythmic pattern to add to our loop. And so this is the rhythm pattern that I used in this particular loop, kind of a simplified version of what the drums are doing in the track. So my approach here was to basically play the rhythm guitar part, but to play it a little more percussively. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So to do this, I'm just covering the strings and I'm back here picking close to the bridge, trying to think like the hi-hat on the drums, right? So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So I started with that, and then I wanted to create something that replicated the sound of the bass drum. So to do that, I actually turned down my octave pedal, and I got kind of a lower frequency sound. So that's kind of what I was after there. You could smack the string, do something to get a lower frequency sound, and what you end up with is dropping that kick on count 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that gives something that kind of ties together those other parts. Now as we build in guitar and bass, everything has its own place that it exists on, and you can start to now jam over it, which is kind of nice. So now we can just let the track play and we can solo, play the melody, whatever we want to do. So just borrowing from the melody, right? So just playing in A major, and I'm just playing 2 notes together. Just thinking about the lyrics, steer it up, right? Little darling, steer it up. And I'm just trying to match that with my guitar. So this is 6th fret, 5th fret. This is double 7th fret. Back to 6th and 5th. Then just back a whole step. And back up. A lot of times when you kick off a solo, I think it's nice to start off with the melody or something similar to the melody before you launch into, you know, all the sweet licks. And then when it comes time to kick into the improvised section, right? So A major pentatonic is going to be a very useful scale here to solo over. And A major pentatonic is the relative minor to this is the F sharp minor pentatonic. So you're playing the exact same box, but you're just emphasizing the A note as you play through. Right, so instead of emphasizing this as a root note, you're emphasizing this note, and this note. in particular. And this is a great jumping off point for improvising. All just notes from that scale. Same thing up an octave. So that gives you a great place to start, in addition to working in some of the melody, all of that good stuff. But basically what we were trying to do today was take the track, learn some of the parts, and figure out how to accomplish them on guitar. I think there's a lot to be learned when you not only learn the guitar part from a song, but learn some of the other parts too. Check out the bass line, think about what the drums are doing, and how we can approximate that through the looper and even just playing it live. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I enjoyed bringing it to you. Always a lot of fun busting out the looper and having some fun. So this is Ben Zinn with Epic Guitar Instruction. If you dug the lesson, feel free to leave us a comment if you like. Give us a thumbs up too, and be sure and subscribe to the channel. Every time that we upload new content onto the channel, we'll let you know, so you'll be first in line. So we're bringing new stuff all the time. Thanks so much. Once again, this is Ben with Epic Guitar Instruction, and I will look forward to seeing you next time.